What if the coldness you felt was not rejection, but a language you were never taught to read? You have been looking for love in warm words, in late-night calls, in easy affection. But an avoidant person does not speak that language. They never learned it. So when they love you, it will not look like love. It will look like distance. It will sound like silence. It will feel like confusion. And most people walk away right before the truth reveals itself. You are still here because something inside you knows the truth already. The way they glanced at you when they thought you were not looking. The way they came back after days of nothing but said very little. The way they remembered a small detail you mentioned once, months ago. That was not nothing. That was everything, dressed in armor. Before we go deeper, let me promise you something. If you stay until the end of this video, you will walk away with a psychological map that most people never find. You will know exactly which behaviors mean love from an avoidant and which ones mean nothing at all. You will stop guessing. You will stop hurting yourself with false hope, and you will finally see their heart hidden inside their walls. So let us begin with the first thing nobody tells you. An avoidant in love does not move toward you. They move sideways. They test the ground. They approach, then retreat, then watch from a distance to see if you are still there. This is not game playing. This is survival. Their nervous system learned long ago that closeness equals danger. So when they feel love rising, their body triggers the same alarms as if they were in real danger. Sweaty palms, a need to escape, a sudden urge to push you away. But here is the psychological key. That push is not rejection. That push is fear wearing anger's clothes. You see, human beings are wired for connection. But some people are also wired to panic when connection gets real. That is the avoidant paradox. They want love more than anyone. They just cannot trust it. So they stand at the edge of intimacy with one foot ready to run. And if you mistake that running foot for not loving you, you will leave right when they were about to step forward. Let me give you a concrete example. An avoidant who loves you will sometimes ignore your message for hours or days. That feels cruel, but watch what they do next. When they finally reply, they answer every single thing you asked. They remember the tiny question buried in your third sentence. They bring up something you said last week. That is not careless behavior. That is someone who needed time to regulate their fear before they could safely connect. Psychology calls this delayed responsiveness with high recall. It means their system needed space, but their heart never stopped paying attention. Most people see the delay and feel abandoned. They send 3 more messages. They get anxious. They demand an explanation. And that demand triggers the avoidant's deepest wound, the belief that they are fundamentally broken at loving. So they withdraw harder, not because they stopped loving, because they believe their love is poison to you. Now let me give you the first major sign that an avoidant truly loves you. This sign will surprise you. They argue with you. Not about small things, about things that matter to them. An avoidant who does not care will simply disappear. Silence is their easiest tool. But an avoidant who loves you will stay in the room and fight. Even if their fighting looks cold, even if their words are sharp, even if they shut down mid-argument. Why is fighting a sign of love? Because for an avoidant, staying present during conflict requires massive emotional effort. Their instinct is to flee. Every bone in their body says leave, but love says stay. So when they stay and argue, they are fighting against their own survival wiring to be near you. That is not abuse. That is a terrified person choosing you over their fear. Of course, this does not excuse cruelty, but it explains the confusion. You thought their silence during an argument meant they did not care. In truth, their silence was them sitting on their hands to keep from running away entirely. Another behavior that means love from an avoidant is irregular checking in. They will go quiet for 3 days, then send you a random photo of something that reminded them of you. No explanation, no "I miss you," just the photo. That tiny gesture costs them nothing in their mind, but inside, it cost them everything. They had to override their avoidance 3 separate times just to press send. To you, it feels like breadcrumbs. To them, it feels like jumping off a cliff. Here's what psychology knows. Avoidants measure love differently than you do. You measure love by consistency. They measure love by how often they overcome their own avoidance to reach you. That means a single text from them can carry the same emotional weight as 10 loving paragraphs from a securely attached person. You are comparing apples to mountains. Stop. Let me give you a second major sign. An avoidant who loves you will remember your boundaries. This is subtle but powerful. If you told them once that you hate being interrupted, they will wait for you to finish every sentence. If you said loud noises bother you, they will lower their voice around you. If you mentioned a trigger, they will avoid it without you ever asking again. Why does this mean love? Because avoidants struggle to track their own emotions. Tracking yours requires deep care. They are not naturally attuned to others, so when they become attuned to you, that is their love leaking through the cracks. They may never say, "I love you," but they will show you by never repeating the mistake that hurt you. Now here is the hardest sign to recognize. An avoidant who loves you will sometimes say things that sound like an ending. Maybe you deserve better. I am too broken for this. You should find someone normal. Those words feel like rejection. But listen closely. Those words are a confession. They are not pushing you away because they want to leave. They are pushing you away because they already love you so much that losing you later feels unbearable. This is called preemptive grief. Their mind jumps to the future loss and tries to protect you from it. In their twisted logic, leaving now hurts less than being left later. That is not selfishness. That is fear dressed as sacrifice. Most people hear those words and agree. They say, "Maybe you are right," and they leave. That confirms the avoidant's deepest fear, that they were unlovable all along. But a person who understands avoidant psychology hears those words differently. They hear, "I am falling for you and it terrifies me." Do not mistake fear for lack of love. Fear is often love's first language in a heart that was never taught to speak gently. Let me give you a third sign. An avoidant who loves you will show jealousy in strange ways. Not loud jealousy, not accusations, but quiet watching. They will notice who you spend time with. They will ask indirect questions. That friend you mentioned, how do you know them again? They will remember names you said once months ago. That memory is not accidental. That memory is their attachment system scanning for threats. Avoidants rarely express jealousy openly because that would mean admitting need. And admitting need feels like death to them. So their jealousy becomes hyper-observation. If you pay attention, you will see them tracking your social circles, your schedule, your habits. That tracking is not control. That tracking is love terrified of losing you. Now I need you to understand something painful but necessary. An avoidant can love you deeply and still leave. Love does not cure avoidance. Love does not melt walls overnight. You can be the most wonderful person in the world, and an avoidant may still run. Not because you lacked anything, because their fear is older than you. Their fear was shaped before they ever met you. But here is what changes when you learn to read their love language. You stop taking their distance personally. You stop crumbling every time they pull away. You start seeing the small, hidden gestures they thought you would never notice. And that awareness gives you power. Not power over them, power over your own heart. You stop begging for warmth in their winter. You start recognizing the tiny fires they light in the corners. Let me give you one final sign for this section. An avoidant who loves you will show up for you in practical ways when emotions are off the table. They cannot hold you while you cry, but they will drive 2 hours to pick you up from the airport. They cannot say, "I am proud of you," but they will fix something in your house without being asked. They cannot give you reassurance, but they will remember your coffee order from 3 years ago. This is called instrumental love. Love expressed through action because words are too dangerous. Their hands can show love even when their mouth is locked shut. Learn to watch the hands. Learn to watch the actions. The words may never come, but the actions are screaming. You are not crazy for sensing love underneath the silence. You are just the first person who ever bothered to look underneath. Now here is your reward for staying this far. The behaviors we just discussed are not always love. Sometimes distance is just distance. Sometimes silence is just indifference. So how do you know the difference? You will know by one thing only: consistency over time. An avoidant who does not love you will show random, confusing behavior with no pattern. An avoidant who loves you will show the same small, hidden signs again and again. The photo on a Tuesday, the memory of your boundary, the jealousy hidden in a question, the same patterns repeating. That repetition is their heart beating beneath the ice. In the next section, we will go deeper into the specific timelines and turning points. You will learn exactly when to stay and when to walk away. You will learn what to do when their love hides so deep you almost missed it. But for now, sit with this truth. You have been looking for love in the wrong places on them. You have been searching their face for softness. Look at their feet instead. Look at where they keep showing up even when they are scared. That is their love. That has always been their love. Stay here. The next section changes everything.